So here we have both of the iPhones. This one right here we're going to be using the Google Assistant on, and this one we're going to be using Siri. So we have several questions that we're going to ask it, and we're just going to see how each of these assistants handle each question. And hopefully by the end of these questions, we'll be able to determine which one is the better assistant on iOS. So let's go ahead and activate both of these and start asking questions. What's the weather like?
The weather's looking good today.
And clear.
Up to 89
It's
degrees.
predicted to be 77 and clear.
So simple enough. I'm actually on the border of Plano and Richardson, so you can see the two different locations here, but they were both pretty quick. Open the health app.
Sorry, I don't know how to open that, but I'm still learning.
So you can see with the Google Assistant on iOS, she can't quite open up applications just yet. What's 5 times 52 plus 8?
The
answer is 268.
Set a timer for 10 minutes.
Sure,
Okay, 10 minutes and counting.
Starting.
Cancel the timer.
All right, it's canceled.
Okay, I stopped the timer and reset it to 10 minutes.
What is the address to the Ranger Stadium?
The street address
The
for
address
Global
for
Life
Globe
Park
Life
is
Park in
1000
Arlington
Ball
is
Parkway,
Globe Life Park in
Arlington.
Arlington, 1000 Ball Parkway, Arlington, Texas.
Now the nice thing about the Google Assistant is that this is going to open up the address directly in Google Maps, which you can see right here. Now of course with Siri it's going to open up inside of Apple Maps, which is probably less preferred for most users. What time does Home Depot close?
I found
Business
15
hours for
places
the Home
named
Depot
Home
near
Depot.
Richardson.
Tap the one you are. The Home Depot on North Central Expressway, Plano is open today from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Who's the President of the United States?
Okay, check
The
it out.
President of the United States of America is Donald Trump.
So anybody asking this question is obviously looking for a name of the president. This just brings up basically in general who the president of the United States is and what they do. Not too smart there, Siri. Who's the president of the United States?
Okay, give me a moment.
All right, so we're
The
going to try
answer is
again.
Donald Trump from January 20th, 2017 to present.
How tall is he?
Here's
He's
what I
6
found
feet,
on the
2
web
inches
for how
tall.
tall is United States.
Siri seems to be falling off the wagon here. How old is the president of the United States?
70 years old.
Okay, I found this on the web for how old is the President of United States.
So you can see that Siri is absolutely falling short here. This is a whole lot more conversational than this, which is I have to ask a completely new question in a couple of different ways in order to get the answer that I want. Wow, Trump is an old geezer. What's the Activision stock price?
Activision Blizzard closed at $54.23
a share in
today.
after-hours trading.
Who won the World Series in 2016?
The Cubs won the
2016
World
World
Series
Series was
4-3
won by
over
the
the
Chicago
Indians.
Cubs.
They won the last game 8-7 on November 2nd, 2016.
While this gives you a nice and clear, concise answer of the Chicago Cubs, this actually gives you a game breakdown that you can scroll through, and everything's presented to you really nice and cleanly. So actually, in this case, I'm going to go with Siri here. What's the capital of Texas?
Austin is the capital of Texas.
What's the population?
The population
Checking
of
my
Texas was
sources.
27.47 million in 2015.
I'm afraid I couldn't find anything on Donald Trump.
There's the Siri we all know and love. First, she didn't even know Donald Trump was the president of the United States. Now she's trying to figure out the population of Donald Trump. How many square miles is it?
Okay, check it out.
268,597 square miles.
Here's the definition of a square mile. Fantastic. Show me pictures of puppies.
Here are some images of puppies I found on the web.
No. That's some cute puppies. Show me the last picture I took.
These pictures should match.
So neither one of these assistants were able to bring up the last photo that I took. Over here, it's actually showing some shared photos that my sister sent me of my nieces and nephews. Remember tomorrow is the Byron Nelson.
Okay, I'll remember that.
So this is a cool thing that Google Assistant can do that Siri cannot. This is actually setting up a reminder, while this one actually will remember that the Byron Nelson is tomorrow. So if I go ahead and say, what did I tell you to remember?
Here's what you asked me to remember recently.
Okay, I found
May
this on the
17th,
web, for what did I tell you to remember?
Tomorrow is the Byron Nelson.
So this is actually a nifty little trick to use with Google Assistant that Siri just absolutely cannot do. If you don't want them to remember that anymore, then you can always just tap on forget. Now, not only does it help with events, but you could say things like, remember that I parked my car in 5A.
Okay, I'll remember you parked in 5A, but I can't determine your current location or your location setting is not on.
So my location setting actually isn't on for this application right now. But if I was walking out of the mall and I said, where's my car?
You told me you parked in 5A.
Boom. That's pretty cool. Show me my messages.
Sorry, I
You
can't
have
read
8
text
messages from the
yet.
4KZ and a message from Mandy sent to the group The Drug Smuggling Trio.
So Siri is obviously integrated into the iOS system, so it's able to read our messages directly from the Messages app. The Google Assistant can't quite do that just yet, but I have a itching feeling that that is absolutely coming. So it's actually probably easy to say that the Google Assistant right now doesn't have app integration for any of the iOS apps, since I wasn't able to open up messages, I wasn't able to access my photos, and I wasn't able to open up the Health app. Take a selfie.
I can't take
You
pictures
have a
on
message
iPhones.
from Mandy sent to the group The Drug Smuggling Trio.
All right, so neither one of those can do those. Huh, did you hear that? Read that message again.
It says, I love Alexa.
That's an interesting message to send during this video. Translate unique New York in Spanish.
Here's what I found on the web for translate unique New York in Spanish.
So obviously the Google Assistant here can translate while Siri just literally Bing searches it. It actually brings up Google Translate. Now, while the Google Assistant can't open up iOS apps, it can open up Google apps. So for instance, open up Google Maps.
Opening Maps.
Or if we go back here, open Translate.
Opening Translate.
So you can see that it can open up every Google app. It just can't open up iOS apps yet. Now, of course, Siri is always going to be available by holding down the home button, but you can actually access your Google Assistant right here on your home screen on your widgets. Of course, you just have to add the widget. If you scroll all the way down here, tap add, and then tap on add your Google widget. Once you do that, it's going to be right there for you to access. Tell me a joke.
Two iPhones walk
here you
into
go.
a bar.
What's the
I forget the
difference
rest.
between ignorance and apathy? I don't know, and I don't care.
Now, both of those jokes are pretty bad, but one of the cool things about Google Assistant is that it gives you suggestions down here. So you can see there's some random fun, you can see some interesting facts, play a game, so it obviously knows, hey, Cody's bored. Let's try to entertain him. And Siri, on the other hand, can't even remember the whole joke. Let's find out an interesting fact.
Sure thing. According to Wikipedia, Greece's official name is the Hellenic Republic.
What an interesting fact. Let's have some random fun.
Here is a quote. Brian Tracy once said, develop an attitude of gratitude. Say thank you to everyone you meet for everything they do for you.
Well, Brian Tracy, I think that's a great quote. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
It
Thank you
depends
for
on
this
whether you are
thoughtful
talking
question.
about African or
Every woodchuck
European
is
wood.
different, each with their own hypothetical chucking abilities.
What?
Still, from my read of the literature, one would have to chuck at least their own body weight to be competitive.